Welcome to today's visual analysis. Get ready, because today we're embarking on a highly intense, hyper-focused microanalysis of a single, incredibly mysterious artifact. We usually cover massive reports or sprawling articles, but sometimes the absolute most profound insights are hidden in the smallest of spaces. We're going to put a magnifying glass over an excerpt so brief you might literally blink and miss it. But I promise you, by the end of our time together, you're going to see this tiny snippet of text as a masterful commentary on the modern digital condition. We're calling this session Visualization, which means analysis, and we are going to completely tear down the walls of what we consider traditional literature.
But before we even get to the artifact itself, I want you to consider this philosophical question. What is the purest form of an echo? When you hear that word, your mind probably jumps straight to the Grand Canyon, right? You picture a lone voice shouting into a massive gorge, the sound waves bouncing off the distant rocks, and the exact same words returning to you, maybe slightly fainter, kind of altered by the atmosphere. You think of nature, you think of physics. But what if the modern echo isn't auditory at all? What if the purest echo isn't found in a canyon, but right there on your keyboard? Keep that question tucked in the back of your mind.
Let's look at the title of our source material today. The artifact is titled The Art of Echoes. Now, when you hear a title like that, it sets a very specific stage, doesn't it? It prepares you for a deep, maybe a little melancholy exploration of repetition, memory, and sound. You're expecting a literary journey, a poetic deep dive into the human experience. I mean, it sounds like the title of an award-winning essay or a poignant piece of modern poetry. It completely prepares your brain for high art.
And here is the entire text of the excerpt from The Art of Echoes. ठीक है, इसमें भी copy करो. Yeah. That is it. That's the entire excerpt we have. I just wanted to pause in complete silence for a second there so we could all just absorb the absolute shocking brevity of it. ठीक है, इसमें भी copy करो. It's a simple English sentence that translates to, okay, copy it in this too. That's it. No sweeping metaphors, no grand poetry, just a raw, unvarnished instruction.
Okay, let's dive into this, because this entire source text consists of exactly 8 words across 2 lines. 8 words. That is literally all we have to work with today. But as we know, constraints breed creativity. And when an author or an editor gives us exactly 8 words under a grand title like The Art of Echoes, well, we have to assume that every single syllable, every space, and every punctuation mark is there for a reason. So we're going to treat these 8 words with the exact same reverence and intensity as a historical manuscript.
Section 1, the linguistic breakdown. Let's take this short phrase and put it right under the electron microscope, layer by layer. Because to understand the genius, or honestly, the hilarious accident of this text, we have to understand exactly what is being communicated. For those who might not be fluent in Hindi or English, our text begins with "theek hai." This translates roughly to okay, or all right. It's a phrase of agreement, of consensus. It implies that a previous conversation has already taken place. It's an acknowledgement. Then we have copy karo, which translates directly to do the copying or copy it. It's a digital command, a strict imperative order to duplicate something.
So the absolutely crucial point here is that this isn't just some random assortment of words, it's actually a perfectly structured 3-step digital workflow mapped out in a single breath. First, we have the agreement, TCAT, I hear you, I agree with the premise. Second, the destination, isme bhi, meaning in this too, implying that a duplication has already happened somewhere else and now needs to happen here. And finally, the action, copy karo, the execution of the command. It is literally a step-by-step philosophical directive, totally wrapped in a mundane office instruction.
Now, I want you to think about the punctuation at the very end of our text. Think about that hanging colon. Thika izime bi kapikara. A colon's entire grammatical purpose is to introduce something. It's a symbol of anticipation. It builds tension. The colon says, behold, here is the thing I just mentioned. But in our source text, the colon is followed by absolutely nothing. It leaves the reader perpetually waiting for a pasted text that never arrives. The echo is promised, but the canyon remains totally silent. It's just a brilliant piece of grammatical suspense.
Section 2, the thematic synergy.
We've analyzed the literal words, but how does this text relate to the overarching title? Let's contrast these 2 elements. Think about the title, The Art of Echoes. It's poetic, English, and elevated. Now think about the command, copy it in here. It is hyperliteral, technological, and grounded in mundane English reality. But if you look closer, what is a copy if not an echo? The text is basically telling us that the act of copying and pasting text on a computer is the exact modern equivalent of an echo. The title and the text mean the exact same thing. They're just spoken in two radically different languages, one artistic, one functional.
And this brilliantly illustrates our core thesis today. An echo is nature's copy-paste. Think about it for a second. Long before keyboards, long before the digital clipboard, the universe gave us the echo. It was the original Control-C, Control-V. By presenting a literal copy-paste instruction under the title The Art of Echoes, the text forces us to recognize the beauty in our everyday digital repetition. It turns a boring, everyday task into a profound philosophical metaphor.
Section 3. Art imitating instruction. We really have to question the true nature of this material. How did this 8-word masterpiece even come to be? Let's consider the 3 most likely possibilities. First up, was this just a completely mundane editorial misfire? Did an editor literally message a writer saying, "Okay, copy the text into this document too," and the writer accidentally published the instruction itself instead of the actual text? Second possibility, is it a brilliant, self-aware instruction? Is the author breaking the fourth wall, instructing you, the reader, to copy this sentiment into your own life? Or third option, is it the ultimate digital meta-joke? A piece of art that perfectly mocks our expectation of what art should be. Honestly, if it's a mistake, it is the most poetic mistake ever made.
I want to leave you with this final, lingering thought. Is a copy just a digital echo? Whether The Art of Echoes was a profound literary statement or just a hilarious editorial error where someone literally copy-pasted their boss's instructions, it forces us to look at our digital lives completely differently. Every time you duplicate a file, every time you forward a message, you're creating an echo. You are participating in the art of repetition. Thank you so much for joining me on this micro-analysis today. I really hope you walk away looking at your keyboard and your everyday digital instructions just a little bit differently. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll catch you on our next visual analysis.